This membership sent this company a very clear message that we're not going to stand for a substandard contract and won't be out on the bricks until we get something that's good enough to vote on. I want you to look around at each other. These are the brothers and sisters that are out here today that will support you today, tomorrow, and until you get a contract that you can go back in there on that job with justice. Justice on the job, I say.
Justice on the job, I say. Bob was told about 3 minutes before that happened that he was going up there. And he hit it out of the park. And here's just a few of the pictures I've taken over the years of Bob whenever he was General Vice President. And he really formed, he led this territory to better things. He was always out there on the picket lines when needed. And remember that one? That was at 100th anniversary in District 110. And Bob, you know, Bob's very strong with his family. These are your brothers, right? And some of them. And of course his lovely wife, Kim. And some of you may remember this from our convention. Companies like Boeing that plead for our help one day in Seattle, then stab us in the back the next day in South Carolina. They are no longer welcome to speak at our meetings. This is the same company that recently made a deal with China to open a new facility there and take with it work that should have been performed in Seattle by our members. This is the same company who forced our members to make a choice between their jobs and their defined pension plan. They are no longer welcome at our meetings. And I promise you that that tactic will never be forgotten or forgiven. Remember the 2012 strike at Lockheed Martin? After our strike at Lockheed made our members remove their wedding rings on the job. If they could not remove their wedding rings at Lockheed after we returned from the strike, they made them cut off their wedding rings. The company also required our members to ask permission to go to the bathroom after our strike. This too, brothers and sisters, will not be forgotten by our members or this union's leadership. You should know that we refuse to let Boeing or Lockheed contribute to our ad book for this Grand Lodge convention. We sent their money back. Brothers and sisters, our international president, Bob Martinez.
I want to thank you all for the work that you do. You know, organizing is our #1 mission in this organization, to organize new members. But you can't organize without communicating and properly communicating. So while I see, I guess my understanding was 120 delegates here, I wanted to see 500 delegates here at the Communications Conference. And hopefully we'll increase that as we move forward. But we need every communicator at the district level, at the local lodge level, to engage, brothers and sisters. I know how much time you give your union. I'm talking about to the district lodge educators, the local lodge educators that are here, and the business representatives that are here. You keep our membership informed, and you do it without asking for anything in return. Many of you spend nights and weekends doing union work. You write articles, design newsletters, flyers, you create and maintain websites, you take photos and videos to capture the hearts and minds of our membership and the public. And you tell the stories that wouldn't otherwise be told, which needed telling. And now, just in case you had any free time, you got a Facebook page that you've got to update or respond to, and a Twitter account that you've got to message. You do all of that on top of your regular job. And then you give up time with your family to be a service to our union and our membership. I want to tell you that I and this executive council are extremely thankful for everything that you do for our membership every day. You are truly what we call trade unionists. And that is those that sacrifice their own personal wants and needs for that of their membership. You take that time, that extra hour, to put into your work to make our union great. I know the work that you do isn't easy, and it might not always be glamorous. But I'm here to tell you that it damn sure is important, the work that you do every day. Every one of you is helping all of us put the fight back into the fighting machinists. I also want to thank Frank Larkin and Donna Georgialis, who are here, who helped create the foundation of this great communications department that we have and the messaging that we do to our membership. Frank, Donna, thank you. I also want to thank and recognize the Grand Lodge reps that we have on our staff to give everything that they have every day, day in, day out, to make sure our organization stays within the policies and procedures and assists our membership on a daily basis. And with that, I would like to recognize we have the president of the IAM Reps Association with us today. Heather Kelly, you here? I'd also like to thank the auditors who are here that do the same thing as our Grand Lodge representatives in a different plane. They go out day in, day out, and make sure that we're set from a financial standpoint, and that we don't break laws, and that we stay within the policies and procedures of the IAM. So to all the auditors that are here and those that aren't, I thank you from the bottom of my heart. Together, as you saw in that video from the Grand Lodge Convention, we're telling these corporations like Boeing, Lockheed, and others that try to divide us on a daily basis that we are one union, strong, with one voice. We're telling corporations that our members deserve the best contracts in the world, and they truly deserve the best contracts in the world. They're the hardest working men and women out there. And we're telling them that we won't back down, ever. We're never going to back down when we fight for job security. We're never going to back down when we fight for pensions or health care. And we're not going to back down when we fight for decent wages and dignity and respect on the job. Most of all, we told those companies like Boeing and General Electric and many others to bring our work home. And that's something that we're struggling with right now. In the last few years, we've lost over 3 million manufacturing jobs. They've closed over 50,000 factories in our country. And they continue to ship work to China and Mexico. I don't have to tell District 751 about it. We're losing hundreds and thousands of members in the last couple of years when we were promised that we would increase our ranks instead of decrease our ranks. It's a shame, brothers and sisters, and you and I fight that every day. I've seen your unity as I've traveled through North America since becoming your international president. I saw it at the Grand Lodge Convention last year. I see it amongst all of you here today. So thank you for making that happen. If you were at the Grand Lodge Convention, you heard some of the changes that we have been making in the IM, this Executive Council, the leadership. One of those changes is overhauling our organizing program, which we continue to do, and we will have something set and paid for shortly. But what's important about our organizing program is the flexibility that we have in our organizing program, that each territory on each different campaign comes up with a new strategy to attack that specific target. We count on you to help us communicate that message. It's important. We're also proud to announce, as we did at the convention, this new negotiations prep program. Like some of my council members say, we don't need to bring everybody to the Whippet Singer Center. We come to the field to train our negotiators, our shop stewards and leaders on negotiations preparation, to get them ready to take on these companies. So now we have a new program that we're gearing up for. It's a right to work program, unfortunately. But it's something that our union should have had a long time ago. And that's to train our members on how to prepare to fight right to work, and then to train our members, if we lose, to respond to our membership and prepare them for what they're getting ready to go through in our fight. This Executive Council is, in my opinion, moving our great union forward. We're moving forward in a different direction than in the past. Our members tell me that across this country, and they're very proud of it. So I, as someone said earlier, one of my colleagues, I stand here today proud, honored, and humbled for the support that this Executive Council received during the Grand Lodge elections. You sent an overwhelming and very powerful message across our ranks. And brothers and sisters, thank you so much. It's further evidence of our unity and our strength. And we will need all the unity and strength we have as we face the challenges that continue to confront us. Those of us in the United States had American jobs in China and Mexico to bring our work back, bring them back to our shop floors, bring them back to our companies. Although we will work with this precedent when it is in our best interest, rest assured we will never, ever compromise on our principles or our values. We will continue to fight for fundamental human rights and the right to organize and negotiate the best contracts possible. We will never stop fighting against discrimination, something that some, it seems, encourage. And we will never stop fighting for safety and health in the workplace, decent pay, pensions, health care, and justice in the workplace. That, brothers and sisters, I vow to you on behalf of this Executive Council. It will take all of our voices in unison to defeat the evils that confront us. So I want to shift to communications. I want to talk about the IM and the communications part. Woody mentioned it earlier about 1999 when I became an education rep and he became a communications representative. When the IM instituted the new Territorial Education Communications Program, it literally changed the way the IM operated. Each territory had a communications rep that trained communicators in the field or helped communicate for locals and districts during negotiations and strikes. It has been an outstanding success. As a territorial general vice president, I was able to make communications a complete part of our day-to-day business, as this executive council is currently doing. Our field communicators are a direct line of support to each and every one of you in the field. So this week, do me the favor and yourself the favor of contacting, meeting your communications rep if you hadn't already. They're all here this week. So I would encourage you to go up to them and introduce yourself and talk to them. They have a wealth of knowledge. A wealth of knowledge. Our field communications rep, not only a direct line to you, but they are also a direct line of support for you and your local. Just as the Whippensinger Center is the premier education facility, we have the premier communications program in the IAM, and I would say in all of the labor movement, and it's only getting better day by day. This is not an accident. We have led for many years. But as you'll see this week, we're kicking into a new gear for the future, new programs that are coming out this week. We're investing more time and effort and thought into messaging, just like that I Am journal you have before you. When I first saw it, these two guys came to my office and said, "What do you think about that?" And I said, "Well, I don't know. It's a little different. Where are all the stories?" Well, Bob, it's in the messaging. It's in the marketing of our union. It's about branding our union. So we agreed to disagree on a few things, and they rolled it out. And as you can see before you, that journal, that piece has been put in newspapers, stories all across this country, which says a lot about our communications department. They did a hell of a job on that journal, and they're doing a hell of a job leading our union, creating new programs. I've directed our communications department to first grow our reach within our ranks. Grow our reach within our ranks. The reshuffling duties to place a greater priority on social media. Now, I'm with Mark. I'm for the old school. I'm an old guy. I don't do all the Twitter and Facebook and all of that, but these guys are pushing us to in a different direction. They want to do new things. They're putting a campaign together, as we discussed in our executive council meeting, to grow our IMail list for our members on the shop floor. Brothers and sisters, our leaders that are in this room, and some others, maybe stewards on the shop floor, they get IMail. They kind of keep up with everything that's going on, big news items. But there are a lot of members on our shop floor who don't have a clue that web page or that IMail even come out. So I would encourage you to plug in this new program. We're going to get it down to the shop floor where we can get our members on the shop floor to sign up. All the mechanics of it hadn't been worked out yet, but the list will be down on the shop floor for our members to subscribe. So I look for tens of thousands of new members, I hope, that will plug in. Talked about the journal. Communications department is also working very closely with other departments at headquarters to market and brand our union. They will be unveiling updated print materials and online resources that help our members in the field. You and our members in the field. They are working on new ways to reach out to all of you. Communications reps in our districts and in our locals. As you'll learn this week, We need all of you to be part of the path forward. We will learn to activate our voices, to make sure our working families can make our voices heard above all the noise that's out there. Social media is part of our world, one we cannot ignore and will not ignore. Our voice must be heard. Now we will break new ground for our union. And that goes for me as well. Brothers and sisters, I now have a Twitter account. This is in addition to the I Am Twitter account. My handle is at I Am Bob Martinez. And this morning, right now, I'm going to ask Jonathan to come up and do our first tweet. So, how are you going to do this?
It is my honor and privilege to ask our international president to send out his first tweet right now in front of all of you.
Just don't do them at 4 in the morning, Bob.
Thank you. Just don't do it at 2, 3, and 4 in the morning. Well, I guess I can say that was exciting. I guess it's just the beginning of other exciting things to happen. We have a great week ahead. In closing, I would like to ask I have a fundamental problem, and I agree with General Vice President Barnum that we don't blow our horn hard enough. We don't tell our stories. We don't brag because we don't brag. But we need to let our members know what we really do. Some of the stories that aren't headline stories, we still need to communicate that with our membership. And even with the public that sees our newsletters, websites, and other forms of communications. And what I'm talking about is we need to make our members proud that they belong to a great union like the IAM. And if you don't tell our story, it doesn't get told. And like I said, even the public, people that aren't members, they need to see what we're doing. I want to tell you about, real quickly, 3 stories that happened to me in the last 4 days. Last week, I had the privilege to be with some of our members. General Vice President Gruber and I were in St. Louis, and I had some brothers and sisters from 837. 837 here? We were getting ready to leave, and these members came up. Phil brought them up, and they introduced herself to me. And there was this one brother who had gotten hurt on the job permanently. And the company was messing with him, wouldn't pay him his disability or give him any money. He was just cut off. And he wanted me to know how his brothers and sisters helped support him financially. He had nowhere to go. They were going to evict him. He had fallen on tough times. His local and his district raised money for him and brought it to him in the hospital every week. Our members were there for him when nobody else was. The members of 837. Those are the kind of stories you got to tell, brothers and sisters. If you don't tell it, nobody knows. Yeah, we are bragging a little bit, but that's a great story, and I want to thank you guys and all of your members for doing what you did for our brothers and sisters. You all did it. So the second story is a little different story. And you're going to hear more about it. And I urge you, on these kind of stories, I urge you to work with your business representatives before you release information like this. But this story has got to get told, and it is getting told. And that's the story. Is anybody here from Harley Davidson? Nope. Well, great American icon, right? Our members build Harleys. Well, they've decided to start shipping our jobs in the United States overseas to Brazil and to the Chinese to build Harley Davidson motorcycles. And they are laying our members off by the hundreds. They're doing things like what they call creating a surge, where they bring in temporary workers in the beginning of the year, ramp up, build all the motorcycles they can, let the temporary workers go, and at the end of the year they lay our members off. The problem is at the beginning of the next year they never recall them. They just hire more temporary workers to come in. This is American icon. We've had a 24-year partnership with this company. Well, I'm going to be meeting with the CEO shortly. And what the presidents and the members of those locals have said is that bullshit's over. That 24-year partnership is over with. So we're going to have to confront them. The point is we have to tell that kind of story as well. But I want you to work with your business reps on things like that you're going to be putting out. The third story is that Saturday we were at Peerless Chain Company in Winona, Minnesota, celebrating the 100-year anniversary. During the BP, and that's what they do, they make chains. U-Haul is one of their companies, U.S. government is one of their customers. They build tie-down chains for aircraft and other things. So they build chains. But during the BP oil spill cleanup, Peerless chains made by our members in Local Lodge 1030 were used to weigh down the oil booms out in the water. In 3 weeks, our members, in an emergency situation, made more than 1 million feet of chain that helped clean up and save the Gulf of Mexico. Now that's a story that needs to be told. I never knew it until I went to Winona, Minnesota and found out. So we're going to be telling those stories. We don't shy away from something that's difficult. We attack it head on, and we try and try again until we prevail. Our enemies may have the money, brothers and sisters. We have each other. We have each other. We have the unbreakable bond of our union. I'm confident we will win because I believe in this great union, and I believe in all of you. You certainly have the talent, the creativity, and the drive to solve any problem that we have. I'm proud to be here with you, and I wish you the very best moving forward. Thank you, and God bless you.